What is up, guys? It is your LOL support here, and today we're going to be bringing you guys a guide on brand support. Now, I know a lot of you guys are thinking, wait, what? Brand support? Now, deal with me. This is going to be a new trip, but I promise you guys it's going to be well worth it. So, let's get into his abilities very quickly because I need to explain a lot of things that make this support work. So his passive is Blaze, and anytime a target is ablaze, they burn for 2% of their maximum health as magic damage each second for 4 seconds, totaling out to 8% of their maximum health. But keep in mind that it does tick every 4 seconds, so that means that magic resist will be applied on each tick, so it's not going to be like a true 8%. Let's go into his Q ability, Seer. Active brand launches a fireball forward that deals magic damage to the first enemy it hits. If the target is ablaze, he is also stunned for 2 seconds. This goes up in damage about 40 each level and scales 65% with AP. And this is a linear skill shot, and it's only going to hit the first person that it comes into contact. It does count as a projectile for Unbreakable and Windwall, Brahms and Yasuo's Walls ability. So keep that in mind. Also, this can hit minions, so you will not be able to throw this through minion waves. His next ability, Pillar of Flame, active after a 0.625 second delay. Brand creates a burst of fire at a target 250 radius area, dealing magic damage to all enemies inside. Units that are ablaze take 25% additional damage. This scales with 45 damage each level, but the mana cost increases, whereas the mana cost for Seer does not increase, which makes it one of the most efficient mana per damage skills in the game. So that's important to note. The scale is 75% with AP. This is a location spell, so it will not be blocked by Yasuo's Windwall, so that's something good to note. And his final ability, that's not his ultimate, Conflagration. This is an active brand blasts a target opponent with fire, dealing magic damage. If the target is ablaze, Conflagration will also spread to enemies within a 300 range radius of the unit. This is a target, and this is a targeted ability, kind of like a locational ability. It will not be blocked. However, I believe that the projectiles that come off of Conflagration can be blocked. And this will also spread to invisible units as well, and units hidden by the Fog of War, but it does not grant vision. Okay, so you see right here, as you can see in lane, the way I position myself throughout this game is I'm positioning myself constantly to apply my Qs to the supports whenever possible. Because as brand, your main job is to spam your Qs, which is why I brought 2 mana potion and 2 health potions. Now, the reason why I went with Ancient Coin versus going with, say, Spell Thief's Edge is because I like the additional gold that it's guaranteed gold that I get with the gold coin, but more importantly, it has 3 mana regen per 5 seconds versus the 2 mana regen per 5 seconds of the Spell Thief's Edge. So that extra mana regen per second or per 5 seconds is going to help in just the slightest way, but it will make a difference as someone who's going to be spamming Qs. So I'm going to go into his last ability so I can just focus on the gameplay completely. Actually, really quick, you see right here where I'm standing prevents them from coming in to get CS, and it allows my Lucian to have free reign of the CSing area. Right there, I ignite just a little bit too late, and the heal was full-fledged versus a 50% heal. So had I got that ignite off earlier, it would have made the difference in that fight. Lucian would have lived, and we probably would have gotten a nice double kill onto Lucian. However, because I missed that was my fault completely. We were not able to pick up that kill for Lucian. Okay, his ultimate, Pyroclasm. Brand unleashes a devastating torrent of fire to a target that will bounce between enemies, dealing magic damage each time it bounces. It will bounce up to 4 times for a total of 5 hits. It can hit the same enemy 3 times if the target is ablaze, Pyroclasm's next bounce will prioritize champions. Meaning, if you know that a champion is ablaze and you throw your fireball to a minion next to them, it will bounce to the enemy champion. And basically, if they're in a minion wave, it'll guarantee 3 hits onto the champion since they are ablaze. So this ability scales really well. I like it, and it's really great in team fights. A good combo that you can do is Seer, Conflagration, Ultimate, Pillar of Flame. That's going to be your full damage combo because the Seer will set the initial target ablaze. The Conflagration will spread the blaze to other people. The Pillar will go ahead and deal extra damage while your ultimate is bouncing around. So that's something, that's a good combo to know. And that is all for his abilities. Now let's get into some of his gameplay. So as you guys can see, a popular, or well, a very useful combo that I was doing in lane was I was going Pillar Q only when it was guaranteed about, I would say 80 to 20%, maybe even 70 to 30, just because of the mana cost that it's going to cause. Right there, using Conflagration just to set her ablaze. Conflagration into your Seer is going to be the same cost. However, the Conflagration is guaranteed burn. So that's more if you need to land that stun, you can go ahead and do that. Another combo that you can do is while doing your QW. If you throw W before Q, depending on how close you are, it will make a difference on whether the Q hits first and you get the extra damage, or if the Q hits second and you'll get the stun. So that's just like a timing issue that it's kind of hard to explain, but it's something that once you get down, like see right there, Janna would have been hit by my stun compared to my pillar, and that's just because I threw down the pillar and threw the Q immediately after. There are other instances where you can Q then pillar, or depending on where they stand in relevance to the radius of, or in relevance to the center of your pillar, you'll also burn them first and then get the extra damage on pillar. It's really it's a bit complicated, but once you get it down, you get it down, and it's something that will happen consistently. So as you can see on my first base, I went ahead and picked up the Nomad's Medallion for the extra mana regen and the extra health regen per 5. The movement speed also is really nice as well, and plus also, as you can see, ooh, pass myself up. I went ahead and I knew that Janna was coming down for the second ward, so you see I was able to get a good amount of damage off onto her. Having an early sweeper is very beneficial as Brand. Brand benefits a lot from bush control, and any support that benefits from the bush control, you want to go ahead and pick up an early. Right there, you see that we were able to get some good damage off, dodge the tornado, flash, throw out the Seer, and we were able to pick up the kill there. The reason I didn't throw my Seer out quicker is because I knew that Corki or a minion had a chance to block it. I wanted to wait till I had a clear line. And going from my Blitzcrank guide, where I teach you guys about harsh angles and soft angles, that was more of a softer angle that I pinned her against the wall for. So it was kind of like guaranteed that I was going to hit it, so that's why I was confident with doing an offensive flash. Had I not been too confident, had that been more of a harsh angle not pinned against the wall, then I would have not probably flashed for that. It would have been less guaranteed. So right there, land the pillar, go ahead and throw out the blaze, throw in my ultimate, Lucian comes in with culling, and we were able to pick up a nice kill there. That was just an example of good communication between me and my ADC, and landing my stuns. So as you can see, Brand is a very good stun bot. Like, his Seer is on a 6.5 second cooldown, and if you juggle your spells right, every time your Seer is up, that's another stun. Because if I go Pillar Seer into a stun, I go ahead and weave in 2 auto attacks, throw in a Conflagration, 1 more auto, and then throw in Seer, and then that extra damage, or that stun from Seer, will be enough time for my pillar to come back up. I pillar them, throw in an auto attack, throw in another seer, conflag, seer, pillar, seer, conflag, seer. So there's really like no way they should escape, assuming that you're juggling your spells right as Brand. So that's one thing that is fairly important. You see I went ahead and picked up the Ruby Crystal for the extra health. I'm going to be building that into Sightstone. Since I went ahead and got the early sweeper, I can't rely on my trinket for warding. So I'm going to have to buy stealth wards, which will cost a little bit more money as far as my gold income is concerned. I went ahead and picked up the Fiendish Codex as well, just for the extra CDR and for the extra AP. So right here, I'm going to take a note. So you see the CS was piling up here. I know there's a ward here, so I'm going to go ahead and dash between these two spots so I can help zone them. Corki went off into the distance, so Janna really had no backup as far as trading. So I went ahead and threw down my combo onto her. Right here we were able to get the stun off. Lucian gets off a nice dash double auto, and we did burn the heal there as well. So you have to be aware of when the enemy is not with support and when the enemy does have support. So right here, Lucian was targeting Corki, I was targeting Janna. Janna is deeper and deeper in our face and has better kill potential than Corki, who has an escape. So I was telling my Lucian, back off of Corki, go on to Janna. So right here, Janna goes ahead and pops her ultimate. I finish her off with the Seer. Lucian's going in. We get a good flash out of the Corki. Sadly, he did not backstep like I thought he would on my pillar, so we were not able to pick up the stun there. Corki makes a couple like weird decisions throughout this game that I'm not too sure why he made it, but I mean, I compensated for that decision not being made, so I guess it was, in a sense, a good dodge. But right here, as Brand, you are a stun bot, so what you want to do is you want to protect your ADC taking out turret while also taking out the turret as well. So right here, I was going to stand about here, just in case if Janna came in, I'd get earlier vision of her. Since I don't know where the enemy jungler is, I'm going to go ahead and try and pop a ward down, because our ward pop a ward down in the tri-brush. And you see I'm kind of right here along the top of the trees. That way if Lee Sin were to come around, I would be standing in between him and my Lucian, so that he could not land a sonic wave onto my Lucian. So right here, we're just trying to thin out the minion wave one more time. We know that Corki's based, and we know that he won't be able to get any of the CS, and hopefully we were able to deny him a cannon minion. So we're going to speed this up, go back, and talk about my next purchase. So I bought the Sightstone just for the extra vision, and also I went ahead and bought boots, because with the boots, I am going to be able to dodge around minions quicker, and I'm going to be able to make more plays happen. Right there, the Amumu getting a really good ult off onto the Corki, and we were able to get the pick off onto him. So that was a good job by Corki, aka Anthony. So that was a good play. Right here, Janna's brought extremely low, and we go ahead and pressure this objective to relieve pressure onto the mid lane. Now the jungler has to make one of two decisions. He can either come to us, or he can continue about his jungle route. Either way, we're going to be pressuring some objective. So right here, he goes in, tries to get the right there. That was Fog of War. I guessed completely wrong, and we were not able to. I was not able to do anything there. Right here, I see that. What's his name? Karthus was ulting. So I will try to get out of there, not get as much, or not get damaged by the Lee Sin, but I did end up getting piled up onto 3 guys. So that's going to be unfortunate, but we will be responding very soon. Alright, so let's check out my next purchase. So I went ahead and bought the Forbidden Idol. Forbidden Idol is a great item on Brand, or any kind of like spam harassing champions. Just because that it's going to give you really good mana regen per 5, and it's also going to give you a bit of CDR, which is also beneficial. So right there you see how I'm just harassing with my Qs, and I don't know why it took this Zed so long to go in. Like, that was... Probably didn't even need to burn his ult. You probably could have just shadowed and had a double shuriken and got the kill. but you know, you do what you gotta do. So I am going to be turning this Forbidden Idol into a Morellonomicon. Morellonomicon does really well as for a brand support, just because of the fact that you are able to have AP. You're also able to get a rend, or not a rend, I'm sorry, grievous wounds on an enemy if they fall below 40% health and you damage them with the spell. So that's always beneficial right there. You see I sweep 2 bushes with 1 sweeper. That's a good method to use. And I see that Janna's trying to take off our ward. Not much I can do because Karthus was right there. Now that Amumu came in, I'm going to go ahead and try and drop this ward. We have a TP coming in from the blue side, so I ping off my Amumu from going in. But we do end up starting up the team fight, so we're going to slow this down. Let's go back to 1609. Okay. So we see the TP come in. Now we're getting sandwiched right now by 3 people. He misses his Sonic Wave, so I know that that's a good moment. Zed overextended just a little bit. The smarter option would have been to go onto this Lee Sin. So right there, I get the Seer, but I do miss the stun. So I'm bouncing my Fireball between the enemy team. See, it's going to come back to Lulu, and it's going to diminish, but we have enough of a burn on him with my passive to kill him. So right now what I'm going to be focusing on is I'm going to be focusing on trying to weave in damage from the outskirts, just because I'm not going to be able to duel anybody. So I'm going to land my pillar again. The only problem is we didn't have Lucian throughout that fight. So that was the only downside to that fight, and the reason why we couldn't really do too much else with that. Right here though, you see that Zed comes back in, we're able to do a little bit more damage. However, we're not able to pick up too much else other than that. Lucian's going to be coming in to help me out just a wee bit. And Janna's going to take her turret hit. Okay, so Lucian comes in. He gets an early polymorph though, so that stops a lot of his damage output, and we do end up getting out of this alive, and he is able to pick up a kill with the culling, which is very, very good. So right there, had we had Lucian in that team fight, that would have been a much different team fight. We were able to fight off 4 to 5 people with only 3. So that was very good by us. So right there, Amumu had a pretty nice grab. We were not able to convert that into anything. So we go ahead and start taking dragons since we saw Lee Sin in top lane. Tip for you guys is do not smite if you know that there's no chance of contest. Because what that ends up doing is that ends up helping you in your jungle routes. It's more efficient. So rather than smiting dragon when there's no chance of contestation, you can go ahead and go and smite blue buff, or you can go and smite white camp or something. You know, it's better for you to save your smites. And another thing with Bran, he's also really good because although his percent damage caps out on monsters, it's still a very good tool at taking dragons. So you can really help your team out with that, because you'll always have your blaze on if you juggle correctly. So right there you see I pick up my Morellonomicon, and I do pick up another Forbidden Idol to complete my Nomad's Medallion into the upgraded version of this. I think it's gold coin, something, I don't know. Let me, I can't check. This is spectator mode, darn. Alright, well, we will see the item when I get there, and you guys know which item I'm talking about. Right here, Karthus all coming down. Nice little double kill by him. So you see my maxing order, I am going with Seer, maxing that first because it will drop the cooldowns as well as also increasing the damage without sacrificing mana cost. So that's really a really important thing to note in the brand. So right there I get the conflagration just for the guaranteed stun. And I'm going to bounce my ult between them. However, since everyone was there, everyone got 1 hit rather than one person getting 3 hits. So that was a little unfortunate, but we were able to get a lot of damage off. Lucian is just kind of having his way right now with how he's going about. He's got, how many? 7 to 1, and I am 5 to 1 right now. So our bot lane is doing work right now. We're able to pick up a good amount of kills with very little consequence. So right here, all I'm doing is I swept instead of just taking that ward out to not make them think that we have a pick ward. right here. I think I'm going to go for a flash play. I go for a flash stun onto the Karthus, and it was able to pick up the kill. So that was a good play. I knew where he was going, and I knew that he only had one options. He had one option on where he was going, so I felt confident flashing into it and getting the pillar and stun off. So it was just something that I knew was gonna happen, so I went ahead and did it. So I am going to base, and I'm probably going to finish off my Nomad's Medallion, and we're going to complete that support item. And what that's going to help us do is we're going to be able to activate that Talisman of Ascension. Oh, that's a good game type. It was fun. Okay, so you see we have a lot of good stats on this. 15 mana regen per 5, 20 movement speed, 10% cooldown reduction, 2 gold per 10 seconds. And the active is really what I like out of this for Brand, because Brand excels at catching people out. He's kind of like Morgana with her stun. So if I can speed my teammates up, we might be able to pick up more kills. Right there, again, I'm the reason that the Lucian died. Right here I knew I was dead, throwing down the flames, and we ended up both dying. But the reason why I could have saved that Lucian is because Karthus was blazed, but I could have seared him. And if I seared him, that would have stunned him, and it would have gave Lucian enough time to make it out of that and get more damage off, and then eventually live. Let's see what Zed does here. Let's see if he survives. Oh, is that a little cat? That's a little cat. Oh, that's cute. That's cute. Nice use of your Blade of the Ruin King, my friend. So we pick up the Moby Boots, and we're going to be speeding this up a little bit just so we can get back out there. So the reason why I go ahead and pick Brand Support. Now, with the meta going the way that it's going with support, it's going into a lot of the like harassing supports or the all-in type supports, as you can see with like a Zillion, where you constantly have his Q bombs up. So I figured, you know what? Why not try and find somebody with equal harass damage but lower cost? So I thought, you know what, let's go for Brand, because Brand also can have a lot of stuns, and he's pretty useful while only building health and while only building resistances because of the percent damages. But in the support role, I go ahead and build a little bit of damage on him as well. So right here, you're going to see a very nice play. So we turn the corner. It ends up being populated with blue team members. So what you see is I go ahead and pop my ultimate. I tell my Lucian, hey, turn and fight, we can definitely kill these guys. So I'm going ahead and I'm trying to weave in damage. I'm also trying to tank a lot of the bullets for my Lucian. We get the wall down from the Karthus, and very nice comboing by the Lucian. I have to back out just a little bit. I'm going to let... I thought the fight was done, and then Lucian says, yo, we can still go. I said, alright then, I got you. So... we're going to try and get some damages off onto her. She was just flashed out of my range for a pillar. So we're going to go ahead and speed this up just a little bit. We have Karthus on our tail, and we're chasing down Arjana. We know this. And I go ahead and take out the pink ward. I had to. Free gold. Right there, I'm able to pick up the kill and save my Lucian. He dashes just out of range for my coin, so I'm not able to give him a coin. So we both end up surviving that trade. What was it? A 3 for 0? Yeah, 3 for nothing. That's great. So right here, Lucian should have just kept going. Darn. Yeah, he does end up dying to the Karthus ult. I went ahead and based as soon as I could because I knew Karthus ult was probably coming down, and I wanted to get my health back. So right here, you're gonna see the damage that I was able to pick, that I'm able to get with my seers and with my pillars. You know, Brand just gets out of like such a good amount of damage without really having to build a ton of it. Right there, just barely ults, and then movement picks up the nice bandage toss, and we were able to pick up the kill there. And this game is pretty much over at this point. When you're 32-17, your support has 9 kills, 2 deaths, and the ADC has 11 kills, 3 deaths. It's fairly over, but there's always a chance for coming back. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about some of the items I like to build on him. You see next I'm going for the Raleig's Crystal Scepter just because I have a good amount of AoE spells. AoE spells and single target spells, things like that. I'm going to get the slows off onto people, whether it's a 3rd% slow, whether it's a third of the percentage slow, or if it's the full slow with the Seer and the Conflagration. I'm still going to be getting good slows off, and that's going to be helping my team out. So you see we're just taking out a quick dragon. Another thing I like to build is I like to build, depending on my matchups, I will even go for health items as well if I need to be tanking. Typically a Morella Nomicon with the Rylai's is enough AP. It's really all the AP that you need. And it's also really good cooldown reduction as well. Let me check my champion data. You see I have 35% CDR. And now it's going to be 20% CDR from here, 10% CDR from here, and 5% CDR from Masters. And good kill. So that was another good kill by the Amumu, and you see we're just kind of racking in the kills and the damages. So I finished off my Raleig's Crystal Scepter. Now the reason I get Raleig's Crystal Scepter now versus before is because before it was less AP with more health, and since Brand doesn't really like benefit too much from the health, he benefits more from the AP. Raleig's was not a very good buy before, but now with the AP being increased and the health being dropped, it's going to be a little bit more cost efficient, and it's going to be a good tanking up item as well. I don't like getting Leandri's on Brand just because I feel like his passive is already enough to where I shouldn't need Leandri's. You could argue that it's going to be more percent damage, but why go for more percent damage when I can go for more utility and help my team out? Another thing I like to be that I like to play recently is Brand Top. Brand Top works really well. I love it. If only his percent damages were instant, then that'd be just like too broken. Right there, getting a nice ult off. Again, I'm landing my stuns as Brand, which is good. So people aren't able to really do much against me. There we go, forcing the flash again. Now this is kind of a niche pick. Like, you're not going to be always doing this every time. It's one of those things I would not pick into an all-in type support and composition. Depending on my ADC as well, I probably would not pick this. Lucian is somebody that can capitalize on the stun being down. Another person that can capitalize would probably be like a Jinx, who could chain her traps with me as well. But as far as like say a Tristana or an Ashe, I probably wouldn't do it. Versus all-in type supports, I'd probably be more hesitant to do this. If it was a Leona, I'm more confident in my ability to zone a Leona, so I'd be more willing to do it. But say if like it's an Annie, then I'm not really willing to do it, just because like Annie's stuns are so powerful that if she is able to land one on us, like it's pretty much the end. But yeah, that's the instances where I pick this. I know this is kind of like an off-meta pick, so if you guys have any questions, which I know probably some of you will have, feel free to post it in the comment section down below. You can guarantee I'll be answering every single question. I will make sure that I get those answers out to you guys so that you're well informed and that you're going to know what's going on here. So I really hope that you enjoyed this guide, guys. I'm going to be getting another video to you guys on Monday, so please stay tuned for that. And with the surrender vote, this will be the GG, and this is going to be the end of the guide. So remember, post a comment in the comment section down below. If you haven't already, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your mom, tell your dad, tell everybody about this channel. And as always, guys, this has been your LOL support, and I am out of here.